I'm going to talk about the Rhode Island Rental Registry and the new lead paint requirements. Let's start with the rental registry. And this is something that is debatable, in my opinion, as far as the use and the intended use in the government's eyes. And nonetheless, you have to register now your rental property with the state, and you have to re-register it every single year. And what you have to do is you have to go online, and there's a website now that you can Google, Rhode Island Registry, and it'll come up there. And you have to input all of your information about yourself, about your property, the location, your email, your phone number, and things like that. And the problem that I have with it is privacy. I don't like that. I don't feel comfortable with that, especially with the amount of people that rent from me, right? That could have ulterior motives, could be upset that they got evicted, could be upset that their rent was raised or they got their tenancy terminated. It just exposes myself and yourself greatly, in my opinion. So I don't believe that that type of information should be public. Now, if you don't register your property, eventually they're going to find you and they're going to fine you. Okay. The fines that I saw here, $50 if you don't register your property per unit per month. And then if you don't have your lead certificate, which is the next topic I'm going to get into, that's $125 per month per unit and up to $1,000 per violation for repeated noncompliance. So the lead portion now is the reason why the rental registry was created. So the government said, all right, we're going to request all of these lead certificates from these property owners. Where are they going to put them? And somebody said, well, why don't we create a registry at the same time so we can gather all of these landlords and use that doubly as the portal system that they input this information. So it's a very creative idea. So the lead requirements are as follows. Every property in Rhode Island should be at least lead safe. And back in 2005, the certificates became a requirement. So a lot of folks are saying this is a new requirement and they didn't give us enough time. We technically had about 20 years. But it was very loosely enforced, and just under 2 children a day are being poisoned by lead in Rhode Island, which was last used in 1978, almost 50 years ago, and we're still dealing with the fallout from that. So it is a very active issue. There's 2 different types of conformance that you can have. Lead safe conformance, which means that all lead hazards are encapsulated, meaning you have old windows, you have old horsehair plaster, you have old door frames that have lead in them, right? They've been painted at some time with lead, but now have been encapsulated with new paint. That's the first option, and that's the easiest option and the most affordable option. So when you get that certificate and that test done, it's good for 2 years. And after the 2 years, you're going to have to re-inspect it, because that paint could have chipped or scratched or something and exposed the earlier paint, right, that was encapsulated. So you get 2 years on the lead safe certificates. The second option is a heavier lift, but it's a permanent lift. It's called lead free. Now, when you do lead free, you're doing an inspection and they're going to come in and they're going to do an x-ray machine. I bet you didn't know about that. They're going to look behind the walls. They're going to look under the floors, in the ceilings, on the siding, right? They're going to look at you almost like you're a patient, under a machine in the doctor's office. Is there any trace of lead paint anywhere in this property? And if so, it's not going to be lead free. Landlords can't afford to have a vacant property on top of paying for the cost to have it remediated. I mean, it's going to put people out of business. Some of you are going to lose your properties. Some of you are going to stop paying your mortgage. You're going to default on your taxes because you're trying to comply with this law. And like I said, it is valid. Children are getting sick. I'm not downplaying that, but I'm just saying there's only so much juice and nectar that you can squeeze out of us as landlords and out of our properties until the well runs dry.